So throughout the week, I've been coming back here and doing little bits and bits and bits of work to this thing. It's coming along. We got the hood cut and the hole cut in the hood above the air breather. Got the air breather back on there just to keep the water from going in. What else have we done? We got the window bar in, which is just my high lift jack with 2 bolts, just to meet the rules. We got the rear doors seat belted shut. I'll show you guys a quick hack of doing this. Super fast, kind of fun, extremely dangerous, but very fast. And the last thing we've done is we have tucked the trunk and pre-bent the back of this. Now I do kind of want it to pre-bend a bit more. We will be doing that. Now, I don't tuck a lot of trunks, so I didn't do a step-by-step on this because what I do could be wrong for what you guys do. I just put a piece of wood across, used some force, bent this. Now, this being a GM, it's actually got a bend mark in the trunk. We bent it right at the bend mark. Cut out a little bit of the sill. Actually, a little bit too much. That was Sawzall kind of dug in on me. Folded it 90, shoved it in, put some threaded rod, and we're done. Pretty much all we did. It's kind of just loose there. With the pre-bending at the back, it's kind of gone up pretty nicely. Now, we were not allowed to touch height of quarter panels, so the quarter panel height is factory. It has not been altered, has not been dimpled, has not been creased, according to the rules. Not allowed a back window bar, so we don't have one. Well, we are allowed a back window bar, but you're either allowed a gas tank protector or a back window bar. You can't have both, so I chose gas tank protector. We have a Jeffy Fab Farm battery box located on the passenger floor. And we got the factory bumper off. We've kind of pounded in the bumper shocks. Steven's going to be bringing a bumper for this, but we don't have it as of right now. The one thing we're going to do today is we're going to put threaded rod in the front, because you're allowed 2 pieces of threaded rod in the front. We might as well do it. We're going to put the toggle switch on for the fuel pump, which you need. And what else can we do? Well, I can show you guys how the cheap and easy and super dangerous way of doing the threaded rod, the seat belts to hold the door shut. Now, Camrys, I like to put the threaded rod on the inside. For example, let's go take a look at this one. I put the threaded rod on the inside of the frame and brought it up because it goes through the rad support very well. Now on this car, I'm thinking I'm going to put the threaded rod on the outside of the frame. And the reason for that is it's a much different frame design and everything's just a little bit different. So we're going to get this hood open, we're going to take some measurements, do some grinding, do some welding, get the threaded rod in the front of this thing. So we have a small fire. I'm not too worried about it. You know what? Maybe I should just do the professional. Put that out. There we go. Fire's out. Anyway, we got the threaded rod in. We went on the outside of the frame, as you can see down here. Up through with a little bracket to hold it on, a nut. Drilled the holes in the hood. While we're doing this, we did find a vacuum line that was rotted, so I fixed it, plugged it. Now we don't have a vacuum leak nearly as bad. We still got some, but not nearly as bad. Some other things I did was I put a wire on there to start the car. So that if you touch it off the positive, it starts the car. I kind of do this to all my Camrys, and because this one won't start in neutral, it will only start in park, figured it was appropriate. I don't have the main wire hooked up, so that's pretty much what it does. Just still got to clean it up, zip tie it over kind of thing. But as for right now, the front end is done. There's still a couple more things we got to do. We got to put the fuel turn on and turn off on the roof. As of right now, I just have a little round clip that I hook right onto the battery. It's great for getting the car running around my property and moving, but it is not good for the demolition derby because you need a toggle switch. So what we're going to do is we're going to mount a toggle switch in the dash somewhere, and then we're going to also mount one on the roof. And the one on the roof is for the officials, the one inside the car is for the driver. So we'll do that. And then we just got to tie the door shut, and I'm pretty sure this car is done, other than the bumper, but I will not be supplying it. He wants to put a Mustang rebar on the front of it, I think. So he has to bring it over and we can put it on together. But I'd like to get this out of here and a new car in. So let's get the wiring done, and then I'll show you how I'm going to cheat my way through the doors by doing it the fast and simple way. We've gotten to the point now where I'm ready to show you this. You guys know what this tool is? This is a pickaxe. Pickaxes put really nice holes. You just got to do a nice swing, and you got to avoid anything that's kind of could damage the car. So I want to put a hole right about here. You feel inside, feel the supports. So I got to go right about there. Put a couple little marks, get your spot. Big end, small end, you want small end. Just like that. Give her a twist. You guys got your hole for the seatbelt. Want another one right here. There. 2 holes for seatbelts. In a bind, in a bone stock derby, pickaxes are extremely fast. I've been in the pit before and need to put in some 9-wire. Just quickly, well, bam, you put a hole on the other side, put your 9-wire through. 10 seconds, and then we'll go through multiple layers. Like right there, I went through 2 layers right there. So we're going to put seatbelts on here. We're also going to put the holes in the driver's side, but I'm not going to put any seatbelt through them yet because the driver likes to get in and out by opening the door because he likes stock cars. When he's in the car, he'll seatbelt the door shut while he's in it. In a matter of seconds, I put 4 holes. So let's get these seatbelted, and I'm pretty sure this car is done. I'll give you a quick walk around after this. So there we have it. Doors are tied shut. Trunk is pre-bent. Gas tank's in it. Toggle switch for fuel pump. The emergency shut-off for the officials, all wired together. Not the right battery, but it is a battery. What else do we got? We got the neutral bypass start button, so you can just start this thing in any gear now. So if you forget to put it in park, or say the gear selector breaks in a gear, you can start it up. In the back, we got the nice tuck trunk. We got the frame pre-bent. We did not modify the height of the rear quarter panels according to the rules. We got all the holes drilled here on driver's side for the seat belts. We got threaded rod in the front. I think I already said that, but we've done everything we can within the rules to make this car stand a chance. And honestly, I really hope it goes good. The only thing in the rules that we do not have that they allow is a driver door outside plate. That's pretty much the only thing we are missing. We could have double tires as well. I don't know if Steven has a set of doubles for Cavalier. It's a different bolt pattern than Camrys, so I don't really have any doubles. But could put a tire with air on it back there. As far as the rules are concerned, though, we've built this to pretty much the extent. I'm not sure if Steven's going to come and pick it up now because he still has to put a bumper on the front of it. He says he'd want to put his own on it, so I don't know if he's going to weld it at his house or if he's going to bring it here and we're going to weld it. But at this point, I think this car is done being built. I think that it is pretty much to the extent that I can take it. It will be getting painted. It will be getting a Zacks Workshop sponsored by right on the side, so I'm super happy about that. And he will be taking his roof sign off one of my other cars and putting it on this one. So this will be coming to a derby near you guys. I know that you say that you're tired of seeing me build Camrys, so this is something just a little bit different. And you know what? It's also nice. It's also nice to have something a little bit different. Some of it was a guessing game. Some of it I kind of know how bad it will go. Like everybody that watches these videos know how bad this trunk's going to go. But we did everything that we could. We made it as aggressive as we could. We made it as safe as we could. And it's going to be a good car. Hopefully he takes home, I'm going to say a second place because I'd like to be the first place. But we'll see how well it goes. It really does suck if my own car beats me, because then I'll never hear the end of it from you guys on YouTube saying, sell all your Camrys, buy Buicks. Buy Buick Cialis'. But this is the end for Project Cialis. We've got all the brakes working. We've got all the fuel cell working. We've got the cage in. This is relatively a small car. I'm really interested to see how well this Iron Duke does in here. It is a new computer, a new engine to my knowledge, so that I don't know a whole bunch about it. I don't know how it's going to do in the Derby. I've heard great things about them from the US guys and guys that used to Derby 15 years ago, because these motors are pretty much extinct. They're basically like dinosaurs up here. So those cars like this, you really don't see cars like this anymore. And I just want to see how well it does. I've seen a couple of these Derbied in years past, but they didn't have threaded rod in the back. They didn't have a tuck trunk. Most of them are stock, no pre-bending, nothing like that. So it'd be nice to see how well one of these does that actually has a little bit of effort put into it. So thanks everybody for watching. We're going to start this thing up and probably bring in another car here today. And I just want to say thank you everybody. And hopefully you guys can see this thing run. I'll put a GoPro in it. That's for sure. If I'm at the Derby, I'll have a GoPro in my car and he'll have a GoPro in his car. So it'll be a double GoPro weekend kind of thing. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.